Touchy Poochie, welcome to the second part of my TRK-01 Bass tutorial. In this video I'll talk you through the modulation section, the envelopes and LFO, the effects, EQ, compressor, the general settings and everything else I did not cover in the first part of this tutorial. If you haven't watched the first video yet, you can find it up here.
Touchy Poochie.
TRK-01 Bass is part of TRK-01 Play, a free software bundle that Native Instruments gave away as a holiday gift in late 2018. It was a limited time offer, so if you missed it, check out the full version of TRK-01, to which this tutorial applies as well. There are two envelope sections, aux envelope and amp envelope. Both provide ADSR envelopes. Amp envelope and aux envelope are basically the same, but amp envelope is hardwired to the output level, so it's good to demonstrate the ADSR parameters. Attack adjusts how long the envelope needs to rise from 0 to peak level. Decay adjusts how long it takes to fall from peak to sustain level. Sustain is the level of the sustain phase, which is held after the decay as long as a note is held. It's not a temporal value, but a level. Release is the duration of the sound to stop after the key is released. It can be triggered on-off in the display, and it's also controlled by the decay level. With velocity, you can set the velocity sensitivity. 0 means all notes play at the maximum velocity all the time, independently from how hard you strike a key. 100 means the harder the key is hit, the louder the sound. Sync enables tempo synchronization for the envelopes, allowing to set attack and decay in note values relative to the host tempo, like a whole note or a quarter note, etc. You can assign modulation to controls of the main area. You can dynamically control the timbre of sounds. Click on the route or root button in the header and dial in the amount of modulation with the knobs. You can do this with both the envelopes and the LFO. TRK-01 Bass has one LFO, a low-frequency oscillator. It can be routed to any of the top row knobs with the route button, just like the envelopes. With Freak, you can set the frequency of the LFO. With Wave, you can select the waveform, blend from sine to triangle to sawtooth to square. The LFO has 4 modes which you can select in the display. Slow mode offers a frequency range from 0.03 Hz to 20 Hz, so it's below the audio range. In fast mode, the LFO runs from 20 Hz to 500 Hz, so it's in the audio range. In tempo mode, the LFO can be set in relation to the host tempo. Beat is similar, but the phase cannot be reset. With phase, you can set the start point of the wave cycle. Reset sets the LFO's waveform back to the start of its cycle when a new note is triggered, which can result in a more consistent and stable sound. There are 4 different headers in the effect section: the insert effect, equalizer, output section, and duck envelope. Below them are controls for the most important parameters. Select the header for additional controls in the display. The insert effect section offers 4 modes: distort, unison, flanger, and phaser. Distort is a distortion effect which saturates or even clips the signal. With drive, you can adjust the amount of distortion. Tone lets you adjust the tonal quality of the distortion, from dark to bright. Output trims the effect's output level, and with mix you can blend between the clean and processed signal. Output and mix are the same in all 4 modes. Unison is a chorus-like effect that tracks the pitch and adds 6 detuned voices to the signal. With detune, you can adjust the amount of detuning. And with width, you can spread the voices in the stereo image, which makes it sound even wider. Flanger is a flanger effect that adds a resonant quality to the sound. Rate adjusts the modulation frequency, so the speed of the flanger effect. Depth adjusts the amount of modulation, so the strength of the effect. And feedback adjusts the level of the feedback signal, which you can turn up for a more resonant and metallic sound. The phaser effect adds a vowel-like quality to the sound. Rate again adjusts the modulation frequency, so the speed of the phaser's movement. Depth adjusts the amount of modulation. And feedback adjusts the level of the phaser's feedback signal, which makes the peaks and notches in the frequency spectrum more pronounced. With the equalizer section, you can fine-tune the tonal character of the sounds. There are 3 bands of filtering: low, mid, and high. You can use these to attenuate or amplify 3 frequency bands with the knobs up here. You can set the frequency of the bands in the display. The mid filter is a bell filter, which attenuates or amplifies frequency content at and around the set frequency. The low and high band can be switched between bell and shelf filter. The high shelf evenly attenuates or amplifies the signal above the set frequency. The low shelf below the set frequency. You can set the Q in the display, which is the width of the frequency band from wide to narrow. The EQ is simple but effective. It's good sounding and it's helpful to shape and polish your sounds. Take a look at the presets. There's not one patch here where the sound designers did not use the EQ. It really is an integral part of the sound engine. DuckEnv is a ducking envelope generator. By default, it's triggered by node C-2. If you route the duck envelope to the output, the signal gets ducked when you hit that note, like it would be from sidechain compression. You can also route it to main parameters of the insert effect or equalizer for more interesting effects. As usual, you'll find the main controls below the header. Time adjusts the overall duration of the envelope. Attack adjusts the duration of the attack phase. Hold adjusts the duration of the hold phase. With velocity, you can adjust the effect of the velocity level to the envelope's strength. Sync enables the tempo sync for envelope, allowing to set the time in note values. Attack type lets you choose between 2 types of attack shapes for the envelope attack phase. Type 1 provides logarithmic and exponential shapes. Type 2 offers sinusoidal shapes. With amount, you can adjust the shape of the envelope's decay phase. The shape depends on the selected attack type. Release type lets you select between one of the 2 shapes for the envelope release phase. With amount, you can adjust the shape of the envelope's release phase. With the output section, you can finalize the sound. Volume lets you adjust the output volume. You can activate the compressor with the comp button. Input lets you adjust the input level. With thresh, you can adjust the threshold. When the level of the signal crosses the threshold, the compressor starts to attenuate the signal dynamically. Ratio adjusts the amount of attenuation applied once the signal crosses the threshold. A higher ratio will lead to a stronger attenuation, more compression. With output, you can adjust the compressor's output level. Attack adjusts the time it takes the compressor to apply the full amount of attenuation once the level has crossed the threshold. With release, you can adjust the time it takes the compressor to stop attenuating when the level has fallen below the threshold again. And here's how the metering works. At the top, you can see the peak level of the input signal. In the middle, you see the amount of attenuation or compression that's applied to the signal. And at the bottom is the peak level of the compressor's output. And finally, there are some settings available in the settings menu. You can tune the instrument. You can set a slope of the pitch wheel and the mod wheel, which by the way adds a tremolo to the sound. You can switch on portamento and set the portamento time from 1 millisecond to 1 second. There's also an auto mode. And you can change the duck envelope trigger note. That was part 2 of my TRK-01 Bass tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, leave your questions and feedback in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more videos about music, tech, and creativity. A special shout out goes out to my patrons. With your support, you help me make these videos, which I highly appreciate. My name is Dachipucci, thanks for watching, and don't forget to make some music today.
Dachipucci.